What's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your guy, G, the number one Cowboy fan, Hampton, along with PR Cowboy. And here we are on What's Up Wednesday. Give it up. Yeah, man, we're in the house again. We're running it back on the Wednesday, Hump Day. We on Hump Day today, and we got some news that you can use. So here we are. Before we get started, I want to say a big shout out to the Cowboy Huddle podcast and all the subscribers and all those that follow this channel. And like I say, without you guys, this is totally impossible. So give it up for our followers and subscribers. Yeah. All right, PR Cowboys, how you doing, brother? What's going on with you?
It's Wednesday, man. You know, it's one step closer. You know, OTA is going on, and you know, just getting closer and closer to getting that itch. You know.
Yeah, man, we're getting closer. I mean, like I said, the algorithm is starting to pick up. Everybody's starting to get more interested in football again. You know, yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I mean, we got some things going on. We got the draft is over with. We got some, key pieces in place. We got a new head coach. Wait a minute. We got a new head coach, and we got Jerry Jones going out and getting a true X receiver. Give it up. Yeah, man. So hold on. We got some more. Let's bring them in. Without further ado, we got our guy, Cowboys champions in the house. Give it up.
Hey, how y'all guys doing?
Man, we are excited. OTAs have started. We done got past the combine, the draft, so it's starting to smell like some football. How you doing today, Cowboys champ?
Can't complain. A little sore. I was doing some little outdoors repairs around the house, so yeah, I'm a little sore.
Hey, man, listen. The mind say you can do it, but the body says something totally different. Give it up. Oh man, I know what you mean, man. So here we are, man. What's up Wednesday? And shoot, man, let's get on into it. So I'm sure that PR Cowboy, you got some news that we can use, right? So what you got for us, brother?
Yeah, we're as today the vote to ban the tush push was 2 votes shy of getting banned. So that is still a thing. It's going to happen. And according to reports and stuff, it got heated up in there for a couple of, I think it was the 49ers owner said, the Eagles owner was talking of why it should stay and this and that. And the 49ers owner said, how much more shit are you going to say? And it was just, it got pretty intense in there. So I don't have an opinion on it either way. You know, I think it sucks when defense, you can't, you're not able to do certain things, but you're allowing the offense, but whatever, you use the advantages that you can get away. You push the envelope. If it's legal, you do it. So I don't know. What are your takes on this, G?
Personally, man, I don't think nobody's getting hurt behind it. I mean, it's a portion of smash mouth football. I mean, everybody lining up. It kind of reminds you of rugby, if you ask me. But I mean, damn, until somebody stops it. I mean, it's a play. It's a play. I think the ones that are not able to stop the play, I think they have the biggest problem with it. I think it's those that's within the division that might have a problem with it. But overall, man, I like it. I have no problem with it. What do you think, Cowboys champ?
I'm like PR Cowboys. Don't have a fight in it, but my thing is, if they can do it, why not the Cowboys?
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
I don't have no problem with it.
Yeah, that was that. Like I said, it was a funny little article reading through that, how that got kind of heated with owners. Yeah. But and then the next thing was the Hard Knocks. We will be in the Hard Knocks with our whole division. This is the second year where they're doing it throughout the season. They're going to air it in December. We're no strangers to the Hard Knocks live. This all comes part of letting people in and what we've talked about of how we're just kind of open book to everybody. You know what? The whole division's doing it. We won't see it till December, so I will be tuning in to watch it. Probably just seeing how the season goes and how players are reacting. So, what about you, G?
Well, we're no strangers to it. We're no strangers to it at all. So, I mean, it's part of, I mean, it's social media now, man. This is way the world, turns, it's just part of life, there's cameras everywhere. So I'm cool with it, man. I have no problem with it. I mean, like I said, we're no stranger to the camera. I mean, we you know, had our share of the camera. So no, I have no problem with it. What do you think, Cowboy Champ?
Uh, the past 3 times the Cowboys was on Hard Knocks, they record wasn't that good. I think one year that 21 they was 12-5. But what's different this time is the whole division. So
Yeah,
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 yeah.
so I'm
yeah,
glad it's just not just the Cowboys, and because you already know how I feel about Jerry Jones being the uh, attention that he is.
yeah. No, I get it. I know exactly what you're saying, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, this the way of the world now, man. There's cameras everywhere. There's a lot of things that goes on behind the camera. So yeah, I mean, I guess Cowboy Huddle podcast. I guess we welcome it. So give it up. All right, before we go any further, we got somebody else that just popped on all the way from the East Coast. Our guy Danny Savage, draft guru. Give it up, Danny.
Yo,
What's going on, my guy? How you doing, brother?
chilling.
That's what's up, man. We just kind of going over uh, some of the news you can use. Like PR Cowboy said, they did not ban the tush push. How you feel about not banning the tush push?
It's ironic. All the teams that voted against banning it, they're all in the AFC. You know, what I'm trying to say that they're not NFC teams. Like they needed, I think, 22 votes. I think to get it. Uh, I mean, why is Travis Kelsey? No, I was getting confused. Why was
Jason Kelsey.
Jason?
Yeah.
Why is he? Why was he even there today at the owners' conference speaking? Who the fuck is he? Excuse my language. Who is he? He's a retired player. You know, he's
And a lot of people say that was the sway. That swayed the 2 votes was with him speaking in there too. So
yeah. Well,
Oh,
Philly's new center that played last year, he had to get back surgery at the end of the season. So let's keep playing the tush push. I mean, it's not football; it's rugby. But
yeah.
hey, you want to stop that? You better
So
get 6'5", 350-pound defensive tackles. Plain and simple.
So, do you think it's more the teams in the division that don't like the tush push, or it's just more throughout the league that these teams don't like the tush push, or is it just the coaches or the media or the press? I mean, where is this coming from?
I think that the only 2 NFC teams that voted for it were the Eagles and the Lions. Every other NFC team voted against it. So it was the majority of all AFC teams that don't have to play against Philadelphia. They're
I
not going to.
think I think the interesting that one that voted against it was the Bills because the Bills do use it, but they
Yeah.
still voted against it as well, trying to ban it.
Right, yeah. So, well, it's not banned, guys. So, man, I forgot. There's a lot of new rules that's going on. I know they're going to do the Eagle Eye instant replay. I think that's one of them. The tush push was another one that they was talking about if they was going to ban it out, but that is definitely going to happen. There's some other rules. I did a video on it, and I can't remember them all. But yeah, but there's some new rules that we're going to see this season. But again, the tush push is what it is. So we welcome it, and here we are. So as you guys can tell, we got the title today is the 2025 Divisional Rivals. So we're going to get right on into that, man. So we're going to talk about each team and some of their latest transactions and where they stand, and we're going to voice our opinion on each team. I mean, we got those rivals out there. It's probably listening, but we're gonna give our fair share of our opinion on each one of these. So let's start off with these Eagles, man. Philadelphia Eagles. From what it looks like, man, they have done a lot of transactions since April, man. So they have been busy in the past, and They just signed a few people. They signed defensive tackle Ty Robinson to a 4-year contract. They signed center guard Drew Kendall to a 4-year contract. And they also signed wide receiver Giles Jackson and waived running back Terrion Davis Price. So they've been pretty busy, man, with their off season, and looks like they're gonna be returning back to their rare form. I mean, Cowboys champ, what are you thinking about this Eagles team? I mean, they look like they're now with the addition of the loss of Kellen Moore. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I don't know what you think. You muted, bro.
Okay, sorry about that. Remember about 3 years ago, they went to Super Bowl the first time played against the Chiefs, and it was 35-31 with a close game. They lost. That following year, both of the coordinators left, and the Eagles had the biggest meltdown ever. And plus, a lot of the games they were playing, they were barely winning. And then last year, they brought in Kellen Moore to help out with the running game, but Barkley was that missing piece. So my thing is, if this new coordinator, what he gonna do? Is he gonna try to open up the offense for the Eagles, have them throw around, or are they gonna continue to play like they was last year with Barkley? And can Barkley stay healthy? If Barkley can't stay healthy, I don't think the Eagles will be turning back to the Super Bowl, even though that defense is stout. They do have some good. They still got the best offensive lineman in the league in the division. Jalen Hurts, he can run. He can throw if he have to. But to me, it's still going to depend on if the running back can stay healthy or not.
Yeah. Okay, Danny Savage, what do you got? How are you feeling about this repeat of this? I mean, they just come off another championship, brother. I mean, damn, they're walking with their heads up, chest out. I mean, damn, they're walking.
A couple of the names you mentioned earlier were their draft picks. So they're coming off a Super Bowl. They have the best offensive line and the best defensive line in the NFL. And they drafted 3 offensive linemen and they drafted 3 defensive linemen. That's why they're winning these games. So, but I think, like Champ said, it's going to come down to Barkley staying healthy. What are the odds he can stay healthy 2 straight years in a row? But playing behind that O-line, I mean, listen, man, the coach just can't get cute, kiss, keep it simple, stupid. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
I don't see anyone in this division stopping them. But like I said, it's all going to come down to injuries.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. That injury bug is nothing to play with. PR Cowboys, what are your takes on the Philadelphia Eagles, man? I mean, like I said, they've been pretty busy in the off season, man. And if I'm not mistaken, they acquired another receiver or something. What was it?
I can't remember on that one. But like everybody nailed it pretty good. Was like you said, they stayed busy. In the transaction game, whatever their strength is, they still add to it. Even though they have the strength, they just add to it. So exactly, that's what you should do. But like you said, is Barkley? We've seen Barkley injured in the past. May it be behind a bad O line in San Francisco or in New York. They're still. Are they going to lighten the workload? Or are they going to keep the same workload that they had on them? Like what like you said, changing coordinators. It's a big deal. I know people like to rub it off, but it is a big deal when you change coordinators for quarterbacks and stuff like that. It does become an issue sometimes. So yeah, it's all going to, like anything else. It's going to depend on health and. Like I said, we'll see what the new coordinator has in store for him. Is AJ Brown is him and Hurts gonna be, in and out off the field like they were last year? Like, there's always those storylines with them, so it's gonna be a wait and see deal. But I mean, like you said, they're the top dogs right now, and you have to knock them off. So.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is will they continue where they left off, and like I said, I don't know. how big a role that Kellen Moore had as far as his offense. I'm not sure if he was the sole play caller or not, but we'll have to see if that affects their offense. So and they also did they lose their defensive coordinator as well? Not mistaken.
I believe he stayed.
So he stayed. So yeah, which they already went through this transition once with losing everybody to other teams. But hey, it proves that didn't hinder them at all. So man, I mean, we got to give props where props is given. I mean, where it's needed, and that's to the Eagles, man. I mean, they're doing their thing, man. But again, yes, I think Barkley is a key piece to this Eagles offense, and basically it makes it easy on the quarterback, something that we've been talking about. So yeah, we just have to see what happens with the Eagles, man. And hey, from the Cowboys Huddle podcast, we got to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles. So now going on into the Washington Commanders, man, they caught fire this year. Danny, they caught fire, and it was all seen behind their new little quarterback that they have, man, Jaden Daniels, man. So also with that, they add an additional wide receiver in Deebo Samuels. And not only that, but guess who else they picked up? They picked up Michael Gallup. Yeah. So they have made some moves here in all season as well, man. But what do you think, Danny, about this Commanders for this year?
No, they got better. They traded for Larry Tunsil from the Texans, so they got a left tackle. They drafted Oregon's left tackle, Connolly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, then they also got a late running back, kid Jakrowski Merritt, like in round 6. They only had like 5 draft picks. They didn't have a lot, but they did what they could with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just seems. I think every team in this division has gotten better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Cowboy? I mean, PR Cowboy. How do you think about? What do you think about Dan Quinn, Washington Commanders?
And like to Danny's point, I think they added J.K. Dobbins also to that running back room as well, which is a pretty good piece as well. If he can stay, he's another one that if he can stay healthy, also.
Yeah.
Guy. It kind of reminds me of the Texans the first year, where Stroud came out, they caught fire. Then they went out and got like all these pieces. They still made the playoffs, but it didn't quite look the same, right?
Right.
And I think that's the key right here is once the team's got film on Jaden Daniels, they got a year to look at him. Can teams adjust to him, and can he adjust back to what they're giving him this year? So I think that's going to be a key part of this. And we've seen Dan Quinn; he's done good as a head coach, with Atlanta and stuff like that. But I think that's going to be the key part here is hey, teams got film on you now. Going in the second year, they're gonna throw stuff at you differently and play you differently. Can you adjust to that? And that's going to be part of Kingsbury's job and all that, and on how they handle that.
Yeah, no, that's so true, man. And again, these guys have basically set the foundation, man, of what they're trying to do with. I mean, the Washington Commanders. They have put some pieces together, man, and hey, man, and then with the additional Deebo Samuels, that makes them that much scarier, to be honest with you. Now, and I think their running back is Brian Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. Brian Robinson is the running back along with Jeremy Nichols. On this defensive side of the ball, they have Darren Payne at defensive tackle, Javon Kinlaw. Got our ex-player, Dorrance Armstrong, still at the defensive end, with Dietrich Wise at the other on defensive end. And somebody we wanted years ago, we never could pull that deal off, was Bobby Wagner. So him and Frankie Luvu are still there as well. So, man, I mean, they have every ingredient to be better than they were last year. I mean, what do you think, Cowboys champ, about the Washington Commanders?
Man, you know what? That still stings. The Cowboys could have had Dan Quinn as our head coach versus McCarthy.
Yeah. Well,
That's still Steve.
we thought that that's what was going to take place once we lost McCarthy. We thought that Dan Quinn was going to be the next guy up, but well, Dan Quinn said
Yeah.
he saw the writing on the wall and got up out of there. I guess So, yeah, that's where we are. So now let's get into our Dallas Cowboys. Give it up for them Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, what about the Giants?
We're gonna get to the. I'm just kind of going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get to I refuse to make us last. Give it up. But now with our Dallas Cowboys, man. I mean, I think we all know what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Our addition with George Pickens. Then we got Joe Milton. We got a bunch of old school names on our team. Joe Milton the third. He named after his granddaddy, and George might be named after his daddy. So with the addition of those guys, man, that was big. That was key. Danny, we finally got a true X receiver. So with what you see on the offensive side of the ball with Jaden Blue, Tyler Booker, which is some of the individuals that we drafted, how you feeling about the offense right now as it stands?
I'll tell you, bro, like the 8th game of the season, man. I can't get excited with the OTAs now.
Yeah.
Everyone looks good in shorts and helmets. They anointed Tyler Booker a nickname already. They anointed him the right guard spot. So basically they just benched Hoffman. And listen, I get it. You're supposed to have your first round pick start, but he just got anointed it, and listen, I think it's just going to come if this offensive line can keep Dak upright, and if we can have a running game, and also if we can stop the run, because
right.
We had 2 late flyers at defensive tackle, but I could be wrong. But in all the undrafted free agents I seen Dallas pick up, I didn't see one defensive lineman. I could be mistaken. I seen a load of wide receivers, tight end, a couple tight ends. A safety I liked, but like I said, I could be wrong, but I just don't know how they didn't sign any undrafted free agent defensive tackles. Maybe they did. I just didn't see any.
Well, not free agents, but I mean, so hey, wait, let's give it up for Cowboys Corners in the house. Give it up for Cowboys Corner. What's up? Yeah. So, Danny, what about the guy we got from UCLA? I mean, I think that was a steal, if you ask me. I mean, how do you feel about?
I mean, he was on my sleeper list. The only reason he fell, he's just a nut. He threatened to kill the whole elevator full of his students he was with. He had some off the field issues. That's why he slid. But he's like 6'3", 6'2", 345. But listen, he could outperform Mozzie Smith in every aspect in training camp. And first game of the season, Mozzie Smith is going to be starting, because we invested a first-round pick in him. And the Joneses never admit they make a mistake. So we'll find out.
I guess. Well, Cowboys, let's catch you up to speed right now. Well, welcome to the Cowboy Huddle podcast, brother. It's always a pleasure having you on, man. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. Thanks for sharing the link. Thanks for having me, of course. I'm ready to talk to these Cowboys.
Yeah. So we kind of went over the Philadelphia Eagles. We went over the Commanders, and now we're at the Cowboys. As far as the latest transaction, I mean, if you want to kind of elaborate on the Eagles or the Commanders, or whatever. But we kind of went through there and just kind of talked a little bit about their latest transaction. So if you got anything you want to share, would it be great?
Man, look. Player acquisition is 365 days a year. Teams are going to add players. Teams are going to cut players. It's part of it. I don't care if the Eagles add 10 players today. Same thing with the Commanders. Same thing with the Giants. We got to focus on what the Cowboys can do and what they're going to do.
Right.
We can project. We could try to get these puzzle pieces and put them together. But at the end of the day, this team has to be better than those guys. And that's just what it boils down to, right? And so, good for them if they're adding players, right? We're not done. I guarantee you we're not done. We still got to find a big defensive tackle. I think they're going to add that. We still got to get it, maybe another corner in here. I think they're going to try to add something like that. We're not done. The 90 guys on here are obviously going to get cut down to 53. There's going to be 1 or 2 guys in training camp or in August when this thing gets trimmed down. That's going to be a Cowboy that ain't a Cowboy right now.
Okay, that makes sense. That's PR Cowboys. How you feeling right now, man? After going over some of the latest transactions the Cowboys have made, like I said, we got George Pickens. I guess that's the biggest news that we can really talk about. But we also did have the backup quarterback, a guy. What's his name? Joe Milton III. Give it up for Joe Milton III. So how you feeling about this Cowboys setup? I mean, we kind of got a little aggressive, man. So how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think I'm the same with everybody. Let's see how September and part of October rolls, and you kind of see where they're going. Because look, we're going to have this head coach. I believe is going to call plays, right? He's going to start off the season as calling plays. How is that going to work out, right? Is that going to be an issue? Is he going to give up plays during the season? What's it going to look like? Danny said too. We're starting the rookie at right guard right away in OTAs. He's playing with the first team. I kind of, because when Mozzie was drafted, it wasn't like they put him right in. Now I know it's a different coaching staff and all that. I want to believe Schottenheimer's, like I said, he's going to play the best guys. So I think he gets Booker out there to give him the first crack at it. Javonte Williams right now is getting the first crack with the running backs. You talk cornerbacks. Elam, the kid we traded from Buffalo, he's getting a lot of time right now with Diggs being injured and stuff like that. Who's going to be that guy that replaces Jordan Lewis? There's questions all around this board, like you said. And as we go through OTAs and training camp and stuff, we'll start seeing a clear picture, who stands where. But like you said, we're probably not going to see what really this offense is going to look like till mid-October. Are they going to hold true to their word? We're going to be a running football team. That's the big question. That's what I want to see.
That's so true. That's so true. Cowboys Champ, what do you think? Well, first, before I get you guys started, Fleabug, she said, hey, driving and listening, so give it up for Fleabug. She's running a little late, so maybe she'll make it before we're done tonight. Cowboys Champ, so what's your thoughts, brother, right now as we go through this NFC East, and now we have landed on our Cowboys, so what's on your mind and what are you thinking right now?
Kind of like what PR Cowboys said. Are the Cowboys going to be a running team? Are they going to take away a lot of the pressure off Dak Prescott and give it to the running game and do the short passes? My concern is still with the tackles. I'm still loving the running backs. I believe, now in my opinion, the linebackers are the best position group on defense.
Okay.
Defensive line, they still got a lot of work. The cornerback is still a lot of question marks. Safeties still got a lot of question marks. Yeah. But other than that, and picking up Pickens, that's going to be good. Again, I'm still concerned is with number 4 and the coaching staff. Are they going to help him make the right play so he can not only give Pickens in the game, but spread the ball around?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And we have been focusing on the offense a lot here and talking about Pickens and Dak and the running backs and things like that. But we do have to talk about this defense. We are still in pursuit of a defensive tackle. We have to be able to stop this run game. And not only that, we got question marks at our safety. We got question marks at the nickel. Who's going to play that corner in the nickel package? I think they mentioned somebody. I can't remember. But do you remember somebody been kind of stepping in that position? Anybody know who's been stepping in that position on the nickel?
Janae Thomas, Julian Thomas.
Wanye?
Wanye Thomas.
Okay, Wanye Thomas. Okay, well, that's great. So, there's a lot of questions about this defense, Cowboys corner. So, are you familiar with Matt Eberflus 4-3 defense?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, it's got to be like a Rod Marinelli style type of defense. If y'all remember that, bend don't break defense. he was our linebackers coach here in 2017. So if y'all kind of remember that when Eberflus left, Rob Marinelli came in and they kept that same style defense. If you looked at him with the Colts, I mean, they had a top 10 defense, a lot of good names, a lot of big players over there. I think the Cowboys can mirror that if the right pieces can play as big as the other guys. And so when you the problem, though, is the smaller defensive tackles. They have to get bigger at defensive tackle. That's the name of the game in football. To get bigger, to stop the run, you got to be bigger. Now, if you look at the guys they drafted later on, they're a little bit bigger than what Marinelli would have liked, so that's a positive. But Matt Eberflus' defense is good. Parsons going to love it. Dante Fowler's going to love it. Marshawn Nealon might love it even more. There's not a lot of gap attacks where defensive tackles pull. It's more gap assignment.
Right.
It's going to be fantastic. I think that's going to help Mozzie Smith a lot. But is it going to elevate Mozzie to that first-round talent? Probably not. I think Mozzie is what Mozzie is. But that's what I know about Matt Eberflus' defense. A lot of cover two, off man, not a lot of press. We'll see how they use our corners, because we know our corners are good at man, not so much zone. So how do they adjust to that?
No, that's so true. And I was going to say the same thing. If we're talking about Marinelli, we know he was a more of a bend, don't break type defense. And like you said, I think it's more of a gap assignment, which could help Mozzie. But it's not the most exciting defense, PR Cowboy, but I mean, it took Chris Richard to go over there and start a fight with the Eagles in order to get the defense pumped up. So I don't know, man. What do you think?
It's not, but I like the role the linebackers play in the defense. The linebackers seem to what I'm saying? So I think with this linebacker group that we have, like I said, I like the kid we got from Tennessee for a 5th-round pick. And going to Cowboys champ, I think linebackers might be our strong point once, Overshown's back and all that. So watching Eberflus, with the Colts and the Bears, it seems like the linebackers get more piece of it. Now, like you said, the corners have to get used to playing this cover two where they're used to playing man. So, and the safeties is a concern too on the back end. So, yeah, and I expect it to be a lot better than what we saw last year. So, right, how much worse could it get, right? But, hopefully if you can creep them up into the top 15 at least this year and then work your way from there.
Yeah, no Joe. So when we talk about the OTAs, and I know we ain't got to the Giants yet, but when we talk about the OTAs, and I know people saying, well, oh man, their practice done started, but really, Danny, the OTAs is more just the walkthrough, getting familiar with the plays and kind of, getting familiar with the coaches. I mean, that's more what OTAs is all about, right? I
don't even follow it. To me, OTAs is 7-on-7 football. It's a joke. Okay. I've seen teams that have won 7-on-7 championships go 0-9. I can't get excited about helmets and shorts. Yeah, I just can't.
Well, and I think it's more media. Media hypes it up to be more than what it is. We all excited as fans, just want to see something. And I think that's basically what it is. As far as an organization, it's part of the protocol. But what you got, Danny?
I saw a video today, and Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons were working out there. Micah Parsons looked like a safety standing.
Yeah, compared to Myles.
Yeah, man.
That's
like that's the highest paid. That's what the highest paid edge in the NFL should look like, not Micah Parsons.
So okay, Cowboys corner. So let me ask you this then. So with this 4-3 defense, are we going to lean more on bigger defensive end? I mean, with this type of defense, or are we still looking at the kid from Boston College and Micah Parsons to be those defensive end, or do they move to linebackers? I mean, I know we don't know. It ain't gonna be like a 3-4 like what DeMarcus Ware ran, where he was a 3-4 and he always was primarily rushing, right? It ain't going to be nothing like that. The edges are going to be the edges, whether that's Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon, Dante Fowler, Micah Parsons. You might see Micah move into the linebacker role some,
but it ain't gonna be like that 3-4 DeMarcus Ware 120 sacks in 10-year type defense. No, it's gonna be a traditional 4-3, cover two, a lot of cover two, and Micah is gonna play 98% edge.
See, that kind of bothers me there. That bothers me. I mean, that kind of bothers me, man. I mean, if we're gonna run this standard 4-3, we're looking at some guys like Marshawn Nealon and Sam Williams. They're a lot bigger guys, and to be able to basically run contain. Basically, that's what it should be. We've seen this go. This happen at Micah. When you run at Micah, it's kind of like it's a little different. You get pushed around. So again, we don't know what the assignment's going to be for Micah and the new kid. I forget his name from Boston College, but I'm gonna bring him on. Cool Cowboys in the backstage. So let's bring him on. But give it up for Cool Cowboys. He's in the house. What's up, Cool Cowboy? How you doing, brother?
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. So we're talking right now, man. We're asked the question about this 4-3 defense, and we're trying to decide, if you're running this base 4-3 defense, will Michael Parsons and the new kid from Boston College have the majority of the snaps at this defensive end, or should they be going with bigger defensive ends?
Man, I feel like they should be going bigger. You can't have two guys that are undersized. If you want to have like Parsons and then I guess Marshawn Nealon because he has some size, then I think you can make that work. But by having two undersized edges and undersized D tackles, I mean that line, all you got to do is run the football, and then you're stopping us, our defense. So I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work. I feel like you have to have Parsons and Donovan Azaraco dude. They cannot be on the field at the same time, or else we're just gonna get ran over, and it's gonna be rough. We're facing a lot of teams with good rushing offenses, so I don't think they're gonna be on the field at the same time much, unless it's like a third down, third and long, third and short passing situation.
Right.
That's what I don't understand real quick. But pre-draft, we said the Matt Eberflus system is bigger defensive ends. And this was said before the draft. Then draft comes and goes. And when we drafted, there was 6'5", 270-pound edges on the board.
Right.
And I like Izaraku, but we just went totally opposite of what we said we were going to do. So I don't understand. I like him, but like I said, like Cool Cowboy said, do you want both of them on the field at the same time? If you want to rotate him and Micah in and out, but they're both 6'2", 250, 245, 240. I mean, we're just gonna get bullied, man.
What do you think, PR Cowboy? I mean, again, and that's why I said, well, maybe that's why we have so many defensive ends, because I guess they're going to do a rotation, and I don't know certain packages, but to see, in this 4-3 defense, and knowing up under, let's say, Zimmer was more of a blitzing type defense, so you can move Parsons around. Same thing with Quinn, you can move Parsons around. But with a standard base 4-3 defense, man, I'm questioning that. Like Cool Cowboy is saying the same. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do in this situation, because are you saying is Micah going to play linebacker on first and second down or something, and then on a passing down, are you going to put him let him go after passer? What is that game plan here? What are they going to do? I like I said, it's just a wait and see for me, and I agree. You can't have the two small guys. You've seen that story play out already, getting pushed around by the bigger guys. So it's be interesting to see what they do with this lineup.
Yeah, it will be. And we don't spend all this time. We forgot about the the other team. We're going through the NFC East latest news. So that takes us on down to the New York Giants. So let's get into the New York Giants, man, and see what they got going on. As I was, let's see. Well, hell, I mean, they do have a new quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Where did I do with that? Okay, so yeah. So they been pretty active in the off season as well, man. And looks like they brought in, who is this? They brought in Jameson Winston as a backup quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. They got not long ago wide receiver Lil Jordan Humphreys, cornerback T.J. Moore, and the free agent signing. So, what do you guys think about this New York Giants team? Starting with you, Cowboys Chan, what do you think about this New York Giants team and what it's going to look like?
By them picking up Abdul Carter,
Yeah,
that's going to help out their pass rush. But as far as that, no, they still got a couple. They still got a lot of pieces that they still have to put in place. I still think the Cowboys is better than them.
Okay, yeah. What do you think, Danny, about this New York Giants team, brother?
They got Russell Wilson at quarterback. They sneakily got better. Like I said, they got Abdul Carter. They did get Jackson Dart. You figure he's probably going to be third string with Wilson and Winston, and then Dart probably the third. But, you have to realize the Giants are stacked at skill positions. You know what I'm trying to say? And now you have at least, Danny Dimes was horrible. DeVito was horrible. It's like, so the Giants just, the one thing that didn't make sense to me is though they only went out and drafted one offensive lineman. But they sneakily got better, and I can see us win with them this year, to be honest with you. Don't sleep on that defense, man. And now you put Abdul Carter. I just said you got to play Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter is not an edge. If you put Abdul Carter at edge, he's going to get run over. But
Well, Cowboys Coney, you shaking your head too, Cowboys Coney. You feel the same way
about Abdul Carter? Absolutely. And Giants are trying to duplicate what Micah Parsons is able to do. Can Abdul Carter do it? It's a tall task. To do what Micah Parsons has done in the first 4 years is really hard to do.
Yeah.
Not a lot of players do it. Not a lot of players have done it. Okay? So, can he do it? I hope not. They're division rivals. Does he have the potential to? Yeah. But I'll tell you this. It's the flipping Giants. We're not scared of it. No, they will figure it out to screw it up for them. Waste their talent.
Oh wow, that's something else, man. Hey, you're right about that. They will find a way. They will find a way to screw it up, man. So
they spent $250 million on a defense 10 years ago. What did that defense do for them?
I don't know. Well, PR Cowboy, what do you think about these New York Giants, man? I mean, they are in our division. Now, Danny said they have got sneakily better. They done snuck in a few players, and they should be a lot better. What are you thinking?
Look, last year I liked the Tracy Porter Jr. kid that they got. I felt that's the one kid that I felt that we should have had, that we should have gotten. They got him. You looked at what he could do, the receiver. They had quarterback issues. Is Russell okay? He's we saw him with Pittsburgh and Denver. It's not like he didn't have like the same amount of talent with those teams and good coaches. So I'm not. Yeah, that's 2 wins for us. I don't care what anybody. That's 2 wins for us this year, and it is what it is. Like they get better, yeah, but I think we're better still.
So they did pick up Jackson Dart, didn't they? Didn't they?
Yeah,
they picked up Jackson Dart. So I don't know, man. Russell Wilson, I don't think he fit. I don't think he fit over there in Pittsburgh. I still think he has a look. It's all about scheme, man, and I just So you got to remember, Russell Wilson come from an offense where he did a lot of under center, play action, roll out boots, and this was just. Everything was pretty much in shotgun. So maybe he'll do better over here in New York. I mean, and I'm sure he will have the competition against Jackson Dart, or Jackson Dart might, he's a first rounder. So here's the question. Do you let Jackson Dart sit on the bench? or do you start him? He was the third pick.
Historically, Giants, even Eli Manning, they sat him for a couple of games. They had Kurt Warner. That was when Kurt Warner was playing quarterback. I think they're going to let him sit at least a couple games. If Russell Wilson goes, 0-6, something like that, I'm sure they'll probably throw him to the Wolves. But they're just going to see what Russell Wilson can do first, I think.
So, Cowboy Corner, is it not that important to draft so high and not allow your high draft pick to play first few games, or do you have a bigger expectations from a player that's drafted that high?
Look, and I've said this many times, many years. If you get drafted in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth round, I expect you to start. Period. There's a lot of equity into that player and drafting him. 6th and 7th round are bonus players. If those draft picks can hit, they're bonus players. 1st through 5th, they have to play. That's the core of your team. You brought in 5 guys to have an impact on your team. Those 5 guys have to play, no matter where you're drafted, from the 1st to the 5th. 6th, 7th, bonus players. But they can't be generic. They can't be great value. The 5th round pick can be great value. A good rotational guy, whatever. But 1st through 4th, they got to be starters all day long, 365.
Yeah, I can agree with you to a certain point when you say up to the 5th round, just like what we saw with the running backs this year in the draft. I mean, you couldn't go wrong. We got one in the 7th round with Phil Maffa. That might just be a big contributor to the team. Now, I can say that as far as, because the running back class was so deep. So, we got Blue in the 5th round, which he could have been a 2nd rounder, But personally, to me, I think if you're going to play, you got to at least be between the 1st and 3rd round, and maybe the 3rd round. But your 1st round, and that's my pick at the 3rd pick, Cowboys champ. I think I want him playing. What do you think?
Yeah, your 1st, 2nd, 3rd round picks, they have to, if not play from day one, they're going to have to contribute to their first year. You cannot mess up your first 3 rounds. This team have, in the past couple of years but again, we don't know about this year.
Yeah.
I think Booker is going to be solid. The 2nd round pick,
is a rock.
How much he going to contribute?
Well, I think he would be in the lineup, but we went back to the Cowboys. Okay, anyway,
That's right.
No, you're right. Give shout out. What you got, Danny?
The thing that scares me, the only thing that scares me about Booker is that he had a running back at quarterback last season at Alabama.
Okay.
That's the only. And if this makes any sense, I think he's played his best ball. What you see is what you get with him.
Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
Well, his freshman year, he went to a football factory.
Booker.
And then sophomore, junior, senior year in high school, he went to IMG. IMG is a joke. You go to school on an iPad and you're training every day. Then from there, he went to Alabama. Started 2 years. Pretty much, I don't see. I think what you see is what you're going to get. I don't see a lot of improvement. I'm not shitting on the kid, but it's not like a kid that went to a normal high school, worked a job after his, I'm trying to say, and played football, then went to college, then still has stuff to grow. I just think what you see is what you're going to get with him.
Yeah. Hey, before we go any further, I gotta definitely give send our condolences. It's been told. Where is it at? Oh man, I just saw it. The owner from where is it at? The coach. Jim Irsay passed away. I'm not sure.
He's a piece of garbage.
We're not going to.
I'm explain why. because you can watch this. There's a movie out there called Better, and it's a movie about a kid from Arkansas, Brandon Burlsworth. He was All-American guard. He was a walk-on. He was a 4th-round draft pick by the Colts. He got killed in a car accident, but he didn't sign his contract yet. But he went to OTAs and stuff like that, and he didn't sign his contract. Now, Jim Irsay say, if you own a team in the NFL, you're a billionaire. He gave the family $10,000. So now in the NCAA, every year they give the top walk-on the Brandon Burlsworth Award. He had these big, like the old school Coke bottle glasses, and the name of the movie is Better, but it's legit one of the saddest movies you're ever going to see. But like billionaire, you couldn't pay that, and his family was poor. You know what I'm trying to say? You give $10,000? Nah, bro, you're a piece of garbage in my book, man. I'm sorry. It's a great movie.
Yeah, well, we'll check that out, see what that's about. But let's get on into this, man. So we got these schedules. We got these schedules here, man. With the here, let's see if we can pull this up. There we go. So here we go, man. Let's get into this and let's look at these schedules between these teams in the NFC East. You guys tell me over or under as far as what it looks like with the Cowboys, starting with the Cowboys, and why did I just lose that? I have no idea. So let's see if I can bring it back up. Here we're gonna try this again. So God dang it, it don't want to work. So anyway, we'll do it like this. So let's get into this. So as you can see here, we start our first week with the Eagles. Then we go down with the Giants. So looking at this schedule, PR Cowboys, can you say we're over or under 10 wins?
And I'm even. I'm right at 10.
Say that again.
I'm even. I'm right at 10.
Okay. So because the reason I say that, Danny, I'm looking at the bottom half of this game, man. Starting at week 11, it doesn't get any easier. So I asked you, and maybe you can elaborate on this. Do you have an over or under 10-win season?
Under. Vegas, it's 8. Over under, and the line in Vegas is 8. We got about 10.
So please explain yourself. I mean, where you
look at the last 7 games of the season. The last 7 games of the season are brutal. I don't know. Like I said, I think every team in the NFC East has gotten better. So, and then we also have to deal with the Rams. You got the Lions. You got the Packers. You got the Vikings. So, but listen, I'm below 10. But listen, Jaden Daniels and Hurts can blow their knee out tomorrow. It's all going to come down to who can stay healthy, who can't. So it's it could come down to a point where Dak is the only starter that originally started the first game. It's all going to come down to who can stay healthy.
So true.
Count. Gee, just elaborate on that is my thing is we won 7 games last year with what we had, dealing with the injuries we had, and we had a pretty tough schedule. So this is where I think we're right at 10 because and now, like you said, it's all dealing with health, right? If we're healthy and everything goes right, I think 10 wins just because we won 7 last year. And most teams with their full healthy roster don't get to 6 wins or 5 wins. We got to 7 with the mess we dealt with last year. So
yeah, that's a good observation. Cowboys Corner, what do you think, man? Looking at this schedule, if I can bring it back up. But let's see if I can bring it back up. Goodness. All right, looking at this schedule, I mean, are you over or under a 10-win season?
I am over a 10-win season. If you watch the Frisco Report, just 2 weeks ago, we did the schedule prediction, and I was 12-5. 12-5. Dallas Cowboys going to pull this off. There hasn't been a back-to-back divisional winner in the NFC East, so the Eagles take the back seat. All right, Cowboys are the better team. We're beating the Commanders. Sophomore slump for Jaden Daniels. Eagles in the trash. Giants in the basement. They built the house. They can't sell it because there's no enough principal paid off in that basement for the Giants to get out. So that only leaves who? The Dallas Cowboys, our beloved Dallas Cowboys.
Yee! All right, that's what's up. All right, Cowboys champ, you're looking at this schedule. Now, let me remind you that we have 3 Thursday night games. That's going to be challenging. That's going to be real challenging. And we have some big time games. As you can see, Thanksgiving, we got a Thanksgiving game. We got the first kickoff game against the Eagles, and we got a Christmas game. So I ask you, will this be an over or under 10-game win season for the Cowboys?
Under.
Say that again.
Under. Like under the sheets. Down under.
Wait a minute. Damn. Okay. Share that with us. Where you? Come on. Fill me in.
Okay, again.
10 games. Damn. Boy, y'all are hard.
Again, it's a lot of teams that can run the ball on the schedule. The Cowboys haven't done nothing to shore up that defensive line. Yes, we got some good linebackers, but it's going to depend on if them 2 young rookies can step up or if the Cowboys can pick up somebody through a trade or free agency. Also, the Cowboys on offense, they cannot have a lot of 3 and outs coming into the season. Right. That has to be eliminated.
Right.
If they want to, I'm talking about either get to 8 or 9 wins.
Right.
I think if they stay with the running game and keep Dak Prescott on a very tight leash, yes, they can possibly get 10 games.
Well,
but that leash got to be very short.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I get you, Cowboys champ. Give him a Cowboy champ. He said less than 10. I'm like Cowboys corner. We got a true X receiver. This offense is definitely going to save this defense. Give it up. So, I mean, we're talking about, like Cowboy Corner said earlier. He said, what we had last year, we had a lot of injury. We have a true X receiver. Not only that, we should be coming up with a run game this year. So with the help of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, this helps the running game. Now, if Brian Schottenheimer is true to what he is saying, that he wants to run the ball with what he has, but damn it, that should help the passing game. So, again, I'm going 12-5 as well. Give it up. So, with that being said, we got to move right on to the next group is with the Giants. Let's look at this schedule real quick, guys. Starting off with the Commanders week 1, then week 2 Cowboys, and then week 3 the Chiefs, and then week 4 the Chargers. Danny,
it's tough schedule.
Over.
Tough.
We're not even going to do an over and under. No, how many games do you see the Giants winning for 2025?
I mean, best case, I can see them like best case, maybe 10-7, and not stretching it, man. I'm seeing them more like 9-8, like best case, but they'll be, I think, right around that 7-9 range, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
It's just,
okay.
I think the Redskins are going to be much, much more improved. They went out and they traded for a left tackle. They drafted another left tackle who's going to play right tackle. And, I mean, having undersized edges just, plus Dan Quinn playing up against that defense. It is. It's just I just think Dallas is coming into the season behind the 8 ball. It's our 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 seasons, our 3rd year of trying to draft players to fit in a defensive coordinator system, and now we're going to be in hard knocks during the season. That's basically like the kiss of death. So basically it's the same old Dallas, It's all about hard knocks. It's all about the strap.
All right, piggyback off of that, PR Cowboy. We're talking about the Giants right now. So
I'll keep it at 5 wins. 5 wins. That's what they get.
Hey, because I'm telling you, it looked like they might lose the first 4. Goodness, dang.
Yeah,
So you
they
said,
getting five. Yeah, that's it.
how about you, Cowboys corner? What it look like for you all with these New York Giants?
0-17.
What's this at the end? Bears.
All right. Well, hey, we
They got a tough schedule too.
gonna
Man.
move right on. Cause we're just gonna forget about that. So let's go into the Eagles. The Eagles. So next is the Eagles on, and starting off, we got the Cowboys. Then behind them, the Chiefs. Then around the Buccaneers, Broncos. Start with you, Cowboys corner. What do you think? What would the I don't know their record be? How many wins you think they will actually get, or do they repeat a Super Bowl again, or what?
8-9.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No ring for the Eagles. All right, Danny. What you got? What do you got with these Sheagles?
I think it's all going to depend on if. I think it's going to depend on. Listen, for all 4 teams, it's going to depend on who can stay healthy. Eagles, Barkley, if he can stay healthy for 2 years,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also, that offensive line, they still got the best offensive line in the league and the best defensive line in the league. So, listen, could they have a Super Bowl slump, a Super Bowl hangover? It's possible. But, I mean, I can see the Eagles. Even if they have a hangover, I can see the winner of this division being like 10-7. I can see that.
Okay. PR Cowboy, what do you think with these Sheagles? What do you think that their record will be?
Cowboys corner gave them 8. I'll give them 9, still finishing behind my Cowboys, which I gave them 10. If y'all are correct, I'll be even happier if 12 wins, but I still have them finishing behind us, 9 wins.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I'll look at this. I think they'll finish 10-7, but this will be the year that they don't make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, again, they're running like a fine oil machine, and they pretty much got things intact where they want them. So it's a good possibility that these guys could make it back to the playoff, but I just don't think they don't get the ring this year. So with that being the last team we got the Commanders. They're starting off with the Giants, and then they go to the Packers. Then they come back home to the Raiders, and then go to the Falcons. So PR Cowboy, what are you thinking about this Commander team? I mean, they ended on a good note last year. So on this year, what do you think? How many wins you give these guys?
I'm going to piggyback that I think sophomore slump is real, and I think I'll give them 8. They'll make wins.
8 wins. Okay. All right. Okay. Danny, what are you giving the Commanders this year?
Like around 9-10. I see them being a wild card team.
Okay. And Cowboys corner, what you got?
9-8.
9-8. All right. So, hey, and again, this is all speculation, guys. We're just saying this all speculation, but again, it depends on injuries. Injuries matters, and it's about what team can stay healthy, man. So, but we can all agree that the NFC and the whole has become better. They have become better. So it's going to be very, very competitive. That's why I wanted to do this tonight, to kind of, elaborate on the NFC East. And again, we are all a little biased. I know me. Well, we got to get Danny over there. But Danny is a realist. Danny is going to be a realist. He's going to tell it like it is. And we're going to be optimistic until
it's like I see the Rams. The Rams are going to probably win the West. So then you got the Lions, Packers, Minnesota vying for that division. Plus, I see 2 wild cards coming out of the North. Then, you probably give the South to Tampa Bay. Now, that leaves one other wild card available. If you give this division back to the Eagles, and that other last one could be up for grabs between the Redskins and Dallas.
Yeah,
vying for that last wild card spot. So, like I said, it's all going to be who stays healthy, man.
Yeah, it is, and that makes a difference. And I'm just so excited that we got help on this offensive side of the ball. Again, we haven't really got into the depths of the defense, but it has yet to be seen what their plans are. But like you said, Cowboys Corner, we're not done yet, and it's a possibility that we could come across other players. So, with that being said, guys, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. So, Cowboys Corner, before we get out of here, what's your final words and what is your thoughts before we get out of here?
Man, look, it's good to see Prescott throwing. Obviously, there's no contact, not a lot of stuff, but it's good to see Prescott throwing. Super skeptical on if he would in the in this time in the OTAs. So that gives me a little bit more confidence in moving forward. You know, I want to see Joe Milton play in the preseason. I don't want to see him play week one. I want to see what we have first before Joe Milton, because Dak Prescott, he's gonna miss at least a game. I mean, that's just the trend that he's on and what he's been on. But I'd rather see Dak Prescott throwing to the ones, getting familiar with George Pickens, getting on the same page with CeeDee Lamb, and try to win some ball games. But it's good to see Dak throw. Another thing is George Pickens' attitude. I get it; it's just media, but I like his attitude. I do like his attitude. He's all smiles. He's been talking. CeeDee Lamb and him seem to be on the same page with the way they're talking. Now, the only thing that can hurt George Pickens and his attitude is bad balls from Prescott, inconsistent play from Dak Prescott. That could crush that kid's attitude pretty fast. So I'm happy that Dak is healthy in a sense to get George Pickens on the same page. Hey, I want you here on this route, on this 9 route. I want you to cut it here at 9 yards and go this way. The ball's going to be right there. Like, they have to get on the same page. So Dak being able to throw is probably the best thing to happen to George Pickens and this offense to get that moving. So I'm thrilled to see that.
Yeah, well, appreciate that. PR Cowboy, what are your thoughts and what are your final words before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of that, man. Like as we go forward, seeing Dak, I want to see those ones play at least a series or two in preseason games. Being under a new offense, having a new wide receiver, I want them to not do the trend of the last few years of just not playing. I want to see them in the game. Of course, we want to see what Joe Milton brings because, like you said last year, we still won 7 games with our backup in there. So if Dak go out 2 or 3 games, can he do the same thing what Cooper did? Come in, win 2-3 games until he gets back. So, those are things, and the running back situation, how it plays out through the offseason. That is the one that I'm watching because if we are going to lean on the run heavily, who are going to be the 2 main guys, and that's what I want to kind of see going into OTAs and training camp.
Facts. So true. Danny Savage, draft guru. What do you got, brother? What are your thoughts and your final words before we get out of here?
Well, considering it's Dak and Lamb's 6th season together, I would hope they're still on. I would hope they're on the same page. I think if they try to use blue like they used Tony Pollard his last year, that's going to be a mistake. He has to be used in a rotation. He's a rotational back. I don't know. We're gonna have to see it. But then again, it's Dallas. Whoever Dallas goes to camp and sees their RB1, are we gonna see him out there in preseason? I don't know. My concern is with the tackles, the offensive tackles. But hopefully they can get everything going and just keep them upright and healthy.
Yeah.
Everyone's just no injuries, no whammies.
Yeah, for sure. And, we got to keep our fingers crossed. But it was great seeing Dak move around on the field like he was moving. I mean, he said only thing he's restricted from is tackling or getting hit or whatever. But it was good seeing him, how he was moving out there, roll out and things like that. So hopefully, man, we can get past the injury bug with Dak and he can stay upright and we're able to, be successful on his offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball. But again, I'm excited, man, to see what this is going to look like once we get started. But, we'll see what Ryan Schottenheimer brings to the table and what he brings on the field. So that's where we are, guys. So thank y'all once again, man, for coming on, man, and hanging out with the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Like we do every Wednesday night, we get on here and talk about what our Dallas Cowboys, and we're unapologetic about it. So, again, we thank everybody. Cowboys Corner, let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube. Just look for that logo in the picture, and then underscore Cowboys Corner as well. Look for that logo in the picture. That's how you'll know it's me.
All right. Danny Savage, where can they find you, brother?
Danny Savage Draft Guru on YouTube, and same thing, Danny Savage Draft Guru on Twitter, the Twitter machine.
All right, PR Cowboy.
We'll say this real quick. Danny Savage don't give himself enough credit, so I guess I'm going to have to. If you want 2026 draft coverage, you have to follow Danny Savage. Period. Before all this other Dan Bugler and Botch Lombardi and Brian Broaddus talk about all these players, Savage is already on top of it. So listen to Savage if you're a draft freak.
I got 30 guys so far. On the way to the 1,000
already. Wow.
He won't do it, so damn it, I'll do it for him.
There you go. Give it up for Danny Savage, Draft Guru. And the more we get into the season, man, we're definitely going to, Danny, we're going to give you your little segment so you can let us know what's going on out there. Because, Guru Sam. Yeah, for sure. PR Cowboy, what's your thoughts? I mean, what you got, brother?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok, PR Cowboys. You can, as the season gets closer, we'll start doing lives before the game on there. You know how we do it, G. We get out there, we get on there, and we do some lives on there. And of course, here on Wednesday nights on, Cowboy Podcast, What's Up Wednesday, just, what we do.
That's what's up. All right, again, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like button below. Make sure you share this video. And also, make sure you hit the notification bell so you will be notified when the next video is posted. Like I always say, continue to stay safe and be blessed. 2 fingers up. Deuces.